Hello, today I'd like to talk about the finances of running an indie studio, and certainly it's not very interesting, but it's something I've been thinking about lately since it's tax time in the US. And, well, I wouldn't say I'm an expert on this, and maybe I don't know the best thing to do with this, but I mean, certainly if you're a one-man shop and you're not worried about liability, like a sole proprietorship or something, you know, basically where all the company revenue passes through personal taxes is probably the simplest and easiest. You can also get like LLCs, both Infinitap and 24 Karat are LLCs, and so those basically give you some sort of lawsuit protection and some sort of separation between company money and property and personal money and property. I am not an accountant. I don't know all the benefits of that. There's also like an S Corp. Even with an LLC, you can file as an S Corp versus a C Corp, and filing as an S Corp is apparently better and saves you money on, I guess they call it, my accountant calls it double taxation, and I don't really know very much about that. We file as S Corp because my accountant said to, and it's it's more work because you essentially have to have payroll for yourself and then dividends, but I guess it puts you in a better tax situation. But the one thing I've found is that it's difficult to do multi-year projects with respect to taxes, at least, you know, given my limited accounting skills. So it's something to think about when you're doing your games or Kickstarter or whatever. So a lot of people recommend doing Kickstarter at the beginning of the year, because then essentially you can spend the money over that calendar year, and certainly I think that's helpful, because at least it's my understanding that, you know, everything gets passed over to your personal tax. So if your Kickstarter brings in, you know, like $1 million or something, all of a sudden you're taxed for that year, you know, for $1 million, you know, assuming you don't spend it. And then the problem is, you know, if that has to last you for like 4 years of development, you're kind of in a bad tax situation. And so that's something to think about, is basically if you kickstart at the beginning of the year, you have a whole year to spend that money before it's counted as profit. And again, maybe there's clever ways around it, but this is just my limited non-accountant understanding of running a business. And certainly, I don't know if there would have been a better way to do this, but with Retrograde, we made some mistakes in accounting, or maybe this is the only way to do it, but we had a big problem where we essentially put money into the company over a period of 4 years, and so because the taxes and stuff is filed over the year, we had, you know, negative, 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 and then we had some positive. Now the problem was that we were taxed on the positive, and the negative didn't really carry over, and so I don't know if there's a way around that. But it was definitely, it was definitely painful to see that, you know, essentially we didn't, I think maybe by now we're close to making back what we put into the company, not counting cost of living. So basically we're close to being very unsuccessful, but even still we have to pay taxes on the thing. So even if we break even in terms of out-of-pocket costs, we're still going to be behind because of taxes. And so I don't know if there's something to there would have been some way around that, but it's definitely something you should think about as far as when you're planning your finances for your company. So yeah, definitely I mean, ideally you make, you know, you release things in the year, you get the money for them. So if you Kickstarter, then yay, you know, you spend the money and then release. But I don't know, and something I've been thinking about, and I don't know if there's a good way around this, but any sort of multi-year project is a little difficult because essentially when you release your project, you're going to have, you know, a boost in revenue day one sales and stuff, but then, you know, while you're doing development on your next project, you're going to basically get a lot less in terms of profit, and I don't think in the US they support income averaging, so I don't really know what the best way to handle that from a tax perspective is, but and of course this is less complicated if it's just you, right? Because if it's just you, then you know what your company makes is your salary, but if you're trying to pay employees and you're getting taxed on money you essentially need, you know, money that you're going to spend, then it's kind of difficult. And so I don't know. I think these are just things that people don't talk about, and things that are probably worth thinking about if you're planning on being an independent developer. And obviously, you know, this is only for the U.S. and every country has different tax laws, but I think it's a good idea to fully understand your tax laws and then make decisions based on those. Unfortunately, I don't even really have that great of a handle on the U.S. Tax laws. And sorry about the clicking and beeping. My UPS for my computer is having issues or something. Anyway, that's just something, a little thing I wanted to say about finances and planning for an indie studio. So thanks for watching.